You actually had a career in mobile back at Qualcomm.
Yeah.
How long have you been thinking about a crypto mobile phone?
Oh, I mean, as soon as we started working on Solana, we kind of felt that, imagine everybody in the world using these networks. Of course, they're going to use them from their phones. And because it involves secrets and cryptography, given that it worked a lot on the hardware layer, the firmware layer, it's kind of obvious to build all of these smarts directly into the device itself.
The things that we want to talk about was the Solana mobile stack and the SAGA mobile phone, which you actually have here with us right now, which it's pretty cool. It looks just like a Android phone.
It is an Android phone. It's a flagship quality Android device, but it's built with Apple quality hardware.
World's first crypto phone right here.
So it's got a cold wallet incorporated into the phone. It has the Android App Store, right? But we also have our Solana D-App Marketplace. What's unique and revolutionary about the store is this is how we're going to bring Web3 to mobile.
Welcome to DHN Crypto. On this channel, we focus on global crypto adoption with an added global perspective. If you enjoy unbiased, fact-based crypto content, subscribe and turn on that notification bell. You'll never know which project I'll cover next. Solana is preparing to launch its mobile phone next week, and with the amount of FUD coming from its ties to Sam Bankman-Fried in recent months, you may have missed out on what is being built here. It was June of 2022 when Solana first announced SAGA at an event in New York. Solana COO Raj Gokul said, "We chose the SAGA name because the story of crypto is still being written. This is the next chapter of this narrative, and we believe opening up crypto to mobile will lead to greater adoption, better understanding, and more opportunities." What makes this even more interesting, Solana locked down a relationship with the 5G network blockchain Helium. A complete network migration is set for March. This will of course see SAGA take advantage of Helium's list of 5G network partners. One of those partners is T-Mobile. In this video, we're going to hear from three key figures: Stephen Lucier, core developer for the Solana SAGA team, Raj Gokul, COO for Solana, and Abhay Kumar from the Helium network. They'll give us a better picture of what's to come during this new saga for Solana.
Shifting to another topic, one of the things that we want to talk about was the Solana mobile stack and the SAGA mobile phone, which you actually have here with us right now, which it's pretty cool. It looks just like a Android phone.
It is an Android phone. It's a flagship quality Android device, but it's built with Apple quality hardware. The lead of the project is the former lead architect of iPad Pro, Jason Keats. And the operating system and the crypto features in Solana mobile stack are built by Stephen Laver, who has launched multiple smartphones, including
So what's the latest update on the phone?
Yeah, the developer kit is launching in the next quarter, and it's almost sold out. So we've had thousands of developers show up to get developer kits and start developing applications. And
at the same time, the iPhone 14 is being released, and how does it stack up to that? Or you've got competition there.
Yeah, when the SAGA was in development over the past year, I think the expectation was that, given this last year of explosive growth in usage and the fact that crypto is, inarguably going more mainstream, we expected that Apple would be launching, crypto native features in iPhone 13 at WWDC and in iPhone 14, and that Google would be doing the same and Samsung would be doing the same. I think what we're surprised to see is that, there hasn't really been any focus on the crypto conscious consumer, which is a really attractive subsegment of consumer electronics purchasers. We've seen what kind of volumes even the right 50,000 or 100,000 people can produce when they're really crypto native. So yeah, the market is still very open and hungry for this type of product.
You may wonder, especially based on what I just said, that we target all mobile devices, starting with Android and moving to iOS later. Why would we build a phone in the first place? Well, here's how I like to think about this. One solution to the problem of creating consumer end-user devices is to leave it up to free market competition, right? If you think back to the IBM PC clone days, you had a bunch of PC clone manufacturers which were all competing with each other, and they were building interoperable devices on open standards, a host of PC clone devices, that were compatible with a host of peripheral devices, right? Video cards, sound cards, storage cards. We in mobile crypto have been taking, and will continue to support a similar decentralized approach. But I think that we have to recognize that this decentralized approach doesn't always lead to the best end user experiences. Now, the crypto experience on mobile today, it's not quite that bad. But I think that it can be said that it's sort of batteries not included, right? If you want to assemble a phone to do crypto operations, you kind of have to assemble the pieces yourself. You have to select and install and configure and learn how to secure your own wallet, right? And even then, the wallet that you choose might not be compatible with one or more of your mobile apps. Speaking of apps, it's also sort of hard to download apps. You might find that the apps that matter the most to you are not available on the platform's app stores, either because they've just straight up been rejected, or because their economics were fundamentally incompatible with the app store's revenue sharing model. There is another approach, though. Another approach to creating an end consumer device is to start, not from the technologies, but to start at the top of this pyramid with the user experience. Think of the kind of phone that you would love to own, that you would love to use, and place that at the top. And then assemble all of the software and the hardware and fine-tune it, and everything you do be in service of that ideal end user experience. If someone went and they took all of these pieces and intentionally built the ideal crypto mobile device and then put it in your hands, what would that look like? And that is why we're building SAGA. We aim to be the first team to assemble best-in-class software designed in harmony with world-class hardware with the same security that you would expect from a hardware wallet into a handset that's purpose-built for crypto that we hope that you're going to love.
Earlier this year, we launched the mobile network. And the mobile network launched first in the United States, and it's now the world's first decentralized phone network. And since August, there have been over 6,700 Helium hotspots deployed in 1,400 cities all over the United States. And again, in exchange for providing this coverage, hotspots earn mobile tokens. But, this is not why we're here today. Why we're here today is to tell people about our progress in moving Helium to Solana. So when Helium first started back in 2019, we built our own blockchain from the ground up. There weren't a lot of options out there. We looked at building on Ethereum. We thought about putting a Bitcoin miner in every single one of our hotspots. It just really didn't meet our needs. But fast forward to present day, there are tons of options that are out there, and block space is starting to become commoditized, and execution engines are also somewhat commoditized. But we started to see issues in our own chain around scalability and reliability, and ultimately, our network exists to provide access to devices and people. We're not here to build blockchains. And so it became clear that we needed a better solution here. And we needed a new blockchain. And so when something isn't working or there's an improvement, we have a process in the Helium network called a HIP. We stole that from Bitcoin, BIPs, EIPs, and Ethereum. Lots of protocols have these. And anyone who feels strongly about what the Helium network should be can write a HIP, write some code, and propose it to the community. And the community votes on whether or not these proposals should pass. And the 2 stars of the show that happened this year were HIP 51 and HIP 70. And I'll tell you all a little bit about these. So HIP 51 was where we established the Helium DAO. And this really was the reason why we started this process. It gave us the ability to expand Helium into multiple wireless networks alongside the IoT network. And that's how we launched the mobile network earlier this year. And HIP 51 also carved out this idea and sort of proposed this idea that tokens, hotspots, emissions rules, governance, all of that can live at a brand new proposed layer 1. And at that time, we started the evaluation of whether or not we should continue to expand the work that we've done on the Helium layer 1, or we should consider some others. And HIP 70 was a scaling HIP that we wrote this summer. And the community passed this HIP in September. And HIP 70 proposes a new architecture for the core parts of our blockchain. Proof of coverage, the system that incentivizes new coverage that's being created, and ongoing coverage before there's actual data transferring, and data transfer itself. And it also proposed, and why we're all here, a new layer 1, Solana. Typically, what we like to do with HIPs in the Helium network is we like to be very opinionated about what we believe the world should be, and rather than sort of like saying, oh yeah, and we'll evaluate 17 different things. And so why did the core devs choose Solana? So we chose Solana to massively scale the network and allow the core team to focus on the things that are the most important, supporting the growth of networks and growing the existing networks that are already out there. Again, 970,000 hotspots. When we started, all of those hotspots ran a full copy of the chain. And the 3 key reasons why we chose Solana is, we didn't want to sort of manage our own L1. Solana has this enormous ecosystem and a ton of devs. Working with teams like Dialect is an option for us. Being able to use core primitives like realms immediately was really important to us. And this massive ecosystem we thought would accelerate adoption of the Helium network. And finally, HNT and the other tokens become natively compatible with any other tokens and other protocols on the Solana ecosystem. And so it drives more utility to HNT, the mobile, and the IoT token holders. And Solana enables a lot of possibilities for us. And an important one was actually more rewards for hotspot owners. Because we were running our own L1 and we had our own staked validators, about 2 million of HNT a year was going to validators. And so that now can go back to hotspot owners. And there's also more opportunity for mining. Proof of coverage, which is the primary way that folks mine today as the network grows, is able to become more consistent. And our blockchain no longer has to scale super linearly to match hotspot growth. And we wanted to provide a better network. Data transfer is the key of this network, and we want to make sure that data transfer is as reliable as possible. And finally, we wanted to allow folks who had HNT, IoT, and mobile tokens the opportunity to participate in all parts of the Solana ecosystem. Participate in DeFi networks, participate in NFT marketplaces, and when we launch on Solana mainnet, we're going to be minting almost 1 million NFTs. And then composability with other applications of the Solana ecosystem, as I was mentioning. So where does the Helium Foundation come into the picture? We're focused on growing the protocol, the usage of the Helium network, and enabling open and transparent governance of the largest wireless network in the world. So the obvious question is, when migration, right? So one of the things I'm really proud to announce this week was the acquisition of the Strata protocol and Noah Prince and his team joining our team. And this team is going to help us migrate to the Solana ecosystem. And we plan right now to get to mainnet by Q1.